A match made in heaven, the genesis of coffee time jazz. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee, the smooth sounds of jazz wafting through the air. These two sensory experiences, seemingly disparate, have been intertwined for decades, creating a unique cultural phenomenon we now know as coffee time jazz. As jazz music evolved from its energetic improvisational roots into smoother, more refined forms, it found a natural home in the burgeoning coffeehouse culture. These establishments, often bohemian havens for artists, intellectuals and musicians, provided the perfect ambience for enjoying the mellow sounds of jazz while sipping on a cup of joe. Pioneers of smooth shaping the soundscape of coffee time jazz. The evolution of coffee time jazz was shaped by numerous talented musicians who embraced a smoother, more melodic approach to the genre. One such innovator was the legendary saxophonist Stan Getz, whose pioneering work in the bossa nova style, a fusion of Brazilian samba and jazz, became synonymous with the coffee time jazz aesthetic. Getz's collaborations with Brazilian artists like João Gilberto and Antonio Carlos Jobim produced some of the most iconic coffee time jazz tracks of all time, including The Girl from Ipanema and Desafinado. Another key figure in the development of coffee time jazz was pianist and composer Vince Guaraldi. Guaraldi's work, while less overtly jazzy than Getz's, possessed a whimsical charm and undeniable groove that made it a perfect fit for coffeehouse settings. These pioneers, along with countless other talented musicians, helped establish coffee time jazz as a genre in its own right, one that continues to evolve and captivate audiences today. Instruments of tranquility, the sonic palette of coffee time jazz. The allure of coffee time jazz lies not only in its melodic and harmonic structures, but also in the unique blend of instruments that typically grace its soundscape. The saxophone, in its various forms, reigns supreme as the lead voice in many coffee time jazz ensembles. The piano, another staple of the coffee time jazz sound, provides a harmonic foundation and rhythmic drive that underpins the melodic themes. In addition to these core instruments, coffee time jazz often incorporates subtle percussion elements such as brush drums, gentle cymbal work, and the occasional shaker or tambourine. From vinyl to streaming, the evolution of coffee time jazz consumption. The way we consume and experience coffee time jazz has undergone a dramatic transformation over the decades, mirroring the broader technological advancements in music listening. In the early days of the genre, coffee houses and lounges relied heavily on vinyl records to provide the soundtrack to their patrons' coffee breaks. As technology progressed, cassette tapes and CDs offered greater portability and convenience, allowing coffee time jazz enthusiasts to enjoy their favorite tunes at home, in the car, or on the go. However, it is the advent of digital streaming services that has truly revolutionized the way we access and consume coffee time jazz. Section 5. Coffee houses and lounges, cultural havens for coffee time jazz. Coffee houses and lounges have long served as cultural hubs, providing a space for people from all walks of life to gather, socialize, and immerse themselves in a shared atmosphere of creativity and intellectual stimulation. The dimly lit interiors, often adorned with artwork and bookshelves, created an intimate and inviting atmosphere, encouraging patrons to relax, unwind, and engage in conversation, or simply lose themselves in their thoughts. The legacy of coffee houses and lounges as cultural centers for coffee time jazz continues to this day, with many establishments still featuring live jazz performances and embracing the genre's ability to create a welcoming and stimulating atmosphere for their patrons. Section 6. Iconic playlists and albums, the soundtrack to your coffee break. Over the decades, countless coffee time jazz playlists and albums have emerged, each offering a unique interpretation of the genre's defining characteristics and providing the perfect soundtrack to accompany a relaxing coffee break. One such iconic playlist is Spotify's Jazz in the Background, a perennial favorite among coffee time jazz enthusiasts. Another popular option is Apple Music's Coffee House Jazz, a playlist that leans more towards the contemporary side of the genre, featuring artists like Diana Krall, Chris Botti, and Madeleine Peyrou. For those seeking a more immersive listening experience, classic albums like Dave Brubeck's Time Out and Chet Baker's Chet Baker Sings offer a timeless journey through the heart of coffee time jazz. Section 7. The Global Embrace. Coffee time jazz beyond borders. While coffee time jazz may have its roots in the coffee houses and lounges of the United States, its appeal has transcended geographical boundaries, captivating audiences worldwide and becoming a truly global phenomenon. In Japan, for example, coffee time jazz enjoys immense popularity, with dedicated radio stations, cafes, and even record stores catering to the genre's devoted following. In Europe, coffee time jazz found fertile ground in the continent's cosmopolitan cities, where cafes and bars embraced the genre's ability to create a sophisticated and inviting atmosphere. From the bustling cafes of Paris to the trendy bars of Berlin, coffee time jazz provided a sonic backdrop for conversations, romantic encounters, and moments of quiet contemplation. The global embrace of coffee time jazz is a testament to the genre's enduring appeal and its ability to connect with listeners on a deep emotional level. Section 8. A balm for modern life. The enduring appeal of coffee time jazz. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, where stress and anxiety have become commonplace, the enduring appeal of coffee time jazz lies in its ability to provide a sense of tranquility, offering a much-needed respite from the constant bombardment of information and stimulation. The genre's smooth melodies, gentle harmonies, and understated rhythms create a sonic landscape that is both calming and engaging, allowing listeners to unwind, de-stress, and reconnect with their inner selves. Unlike more energetic or aggressive forms of music, coffee time jazz doesn't demand our full attention. Its unobtrusive nature allows our minds to wander, fostering creativity, introspection, and a sense of peace. Whether enjoyed in the comfort of our homes, the bustling atmosphere of a coffee house, or the quiet solitude of a nature walk, coffee time jazz provides a sonic balm for the soul. Section 9. The future of chill innovations and trends in coffee time jazz. While coffee time jazz remains deeply rooted in its rich history and traditional sounds, the genre continues to evolve, embracing new technologies, incorporating influences from other genres, and attracting a new generation of musicians and listeners eager to explore its relaxing and sophisticated soundscapes. One notable trend is the rise of lo-fi hip-hop, a subgenre that blends the chilled-out vibes of coffee time jazz with the rhythmic elements of hip-hop. Another exciting development is the increasing use of electronic instruments and production techniques in coffee time jazz. The future of coffee time jazz is bright, fueled by the creativity of its artists, the passion of its fans, and its enduring ability to provide a much-needed respite from the stresses of modern life. Section 10. Coffee Time Jazz. A timeless soundtrack for life's simple pleasures. Coffee time jazz, in its essence, is more than just a musical genre. It's a feeling, an ambiance, a sonic embodiment of life's simple pleasures. It's the soundtrack to quiet mornings spent sipping coffee and reading the newspaper, rainy afternoons curled up with a good book, and intimate evenings shared with loved ones. The beauty of coffee time jazz lies in its ability to transcend time and trends. So the next time you find yourself in need of a moment of peace, brew yourself a cup of coffee, put on your favorite coffee time jazz playlist, and allow the music to transport you to a place of tranquility and relaxation.